One thing for sure, they're going to tell you about the crime. They're going to rarely tell us about the real criminals, though. We back in Illinois, y'all. They're going to stay on the map. We got a lot to say about that, man. Shout out to everybody who asked me, am I safe from the storm so far? But prayers for everybody going through it. Let's see what they got going on in Chicago, man. This one is very interesting for me because I already read the print article. If you're new here, I'm Trailhand Bill, reporting live from South Florida. But we're going to talk more about that in a minute.
Chicago police ordered to pay $50 million to a man who says he was framed in a murder case.
Yeah, he'd already been declared innocent years ago. Nate Rogers spoke to him tonight. Nate.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. And down, Marcel Brown was sentenced to 35 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. He actually served 10 of those years before he was exonerated. His attorneys tell us that he was inside an interrogation room for more than 30 hours. He was banned from receiving legal counsel. He was given little food, and they say his phone call requests to family were denied.
This jury saw what happened in that interrogation room as mental coercion, psychological coercion. His constitutional rights were violated.
In August of 2008, Paris Jackson died after being shot multiple times here at Amundsen Park. Marcel Brown, 18 at the time, was arrested and charged as the getaway driver.
He goes over to the park to pick up his sister. People start shooting. They accuse Marcel of being an accomplice, having been involved in the shooting. He had nothing to do with it.
Brown's lawsuit against the city, CPD, and an assistant state's attorney claims he was coerced into confessing because prosecutors wanted to quickly close the case with, quote, minimum effort. His interrogation all on video.
I was just a kid. I felt like a slave. They put me in a den full of lions.
Brown left the Dirksen Federal Building today after a jury awarded him $50 million in punitive damages. Joined by family, Brown says his mother was his rock through the process.
She had more faith than me sometimes, so when I ever felt down, I talked to God. When I couldn't talk to him, I looked to her.
Attorneys say it's one of the first wrongful conviction cases to go to trial after state law changed where murder interrogations have to be videotaped.
This $50 million verdict ought to be a wake-up call and a message to Mayor Johnson and Superintendent Snelling that it is time to get a grip on the way the Chicago Police Department is conducting its interrogations.
Now, Brown has been out of jail for 6 years now. He works for Ceasefire, which is a violence prevention program. He says with his settlement money, he plans to take care of his family. There's the latest downtown outside of the Dirksen Federal Courthouse. Nate Rogers, Fox 32 Chicago.
With all due respect, man, I'm not going to remember. That guy kind of rubbed me the wrong way. If all you wanted to see was a video and it's over with, man, there would be nothing but me talking until I'm done giving my opinion of the video from this point on. So you're welcome to leave. You're welcome to stay. Man, shout out to Homie for getting justice, man. I'm out here in Coral Gables, Florida today, y'all. I probably need to get my ass home because the sky is changing right now. And I don't know what the hell about to happen. But we're not supposed to get anything but some rain down here. I think I said that in the previous video, but someone may have missed it. Shout out to Poor Dirt Farmer, man. Shout out to my man Jeff. And like I say, anybody, man, who's anywhere near that storm, man, definitely think about y'all and praying for y'all. This video, man, I said in the intro, man, they will always tell us about the crime. They will rarely tell us about the real criminals, man. I read the print article, man, and like I say, let me get to this guy, this journalist guy, and his, we just gonna go and group y'all together because that's how y'all came, man. It seemed to me, I might be tripping, and if so, let me offer a preemptive apology, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But it seemed to me, man, that y'all were implying that this dude may be innocent, man. Like, I don't like stuff like that. That's when I get to thinking that the media, y'all are part of talking head journalists, right? I do. Y'all are part of the talking head journalism because, I mean, there was a jury of his peers and the peers of these criminal officers that watched the interrogation videos that had the evidence, and they overturned his conviction. They let this man out of prison. And not only that, if that doesn't, point you in the right direction or tickle your moral fibers, he was then awarded the biggest settlement. I can't remember if they said in Illinois history or American history. But either way, I mean, $50 million. Let me get this water, y'all. Hold on for a second. Panera Bread, my favorite spot. Anytime I'm traveling somewhere, I got some business to handle, and I'm done, and I want to chill, the first thing I'm looking for is Panera Bread. Anyway, but like I say, man, I didn't like the way that they seemed to be implying that he might not have been guilty, even though he got, he got off with it and he was exonerated. He might not have been not guilty. He may have still been guilty, even though, like, on several levels he was. I don't like that, man, because once again, I'm going to tell you guys why. When they talk about the cops, they talk assuredly, unless they're talking about something that the cops are guilty of, or a situation where the cops are guilty in. That's the only time these talking head journalists start to talk in maybe in if terms and tones. I don't like that, man. It's like they don't want to say that sometimes the cops are absolutely wrong, clearly wrong, and that's just the bottom line. So I had to get that out, man. Back to homie, I'm going to try to mention a couple of the things that they said in the print article that they didn't either mention here or they didn't touch on enough. One of the things is, man, that came to mind while watching this, hearing this, and reading it is I seen the Martin Luther King movie, I think once, maybe twice, but definitely once. Selma, I think it is. Very touching, very heart-wrenching and warming movie. Yeah, I lost it right there, y'all. I don't know what the hell I was thinking or doing. I damn near should do a blooper on myself at the end of this video to let y'all hear it, but I'm not going to embarrass myself. Anyway, what I was doing is I was just likening a scene that has always been my favorite scene in that movie from the time I saw it to what I saw in this particular video, and that is a scene where they did one of the famous marches. It might have been the last one. I'm so disappointed in myself. I can't remember the particular name because it is important to our history and how we got where we are successfully. But in this particular march, I remember they were setting it up, and like the cops were on one side of the bridge, and they facing literally the same thing that we still face to this day. So, in some ways, things have changed, but in some ways, they haven't. So, you got the cops waiting on one side of the bridge, and then you have, all of the people from all over the world who have gathered to stand up against the treason that the American government and its beat cops, his roaches, his terrorist brigade were pouring out on African Americans. So, the American government fucking us over. And you got people from all over the world saying, no, we're not going for this, bro. And that when I saw that, it was like, because I knew that they were depicting something that actually happened. And so I'm knowing that, hey, man, the only people being fucked over right here are black people in America, right, in this particular context. But it's people from literally all over the world that say we sick of this shit, we ain't going for it no more. And they know they're about to go across that bridge and get physically terrorized by these cops. And that's what happened, but they still did it. And it's like people who didn't have to be there. It's people who had no choice because we sick of this. Y'all ain't gonna keep doing this to us. Then it's people who said, nah, we see that, and even though you're not doing it to us. All right. I'm just saying, when I saw who was standing at that podium, and then I read the print article, and in the print article, they went more in depth about everybody who got involved in this man's freedom and his liberty and his exoneration, and been in some way compensated for what was taken from him and his family. Because that's what happens. You don't just rob it from one individual. It's a bloodline of people behind that person and loved ones behind that person. So I'm glad he was able to get some of that back, but I was just also blessed to hear about all of the people who came together, for whatever their reasons were, to help this man get what should have never been taken from him. And it was reminiscent of what's going on, what went on in that movie. And I think it's reminiscent of the conversation that we have too, because everybody from all over are joining, even all over the world are joining in this conversation with Americans and saying, hey, this shit don't make no sense, man. And they're willing to stand with us however we choose to reasonably stand as well. So that was just a circular conversation, and the dots were connecting in my thoughts on those things. But anyway, back to the video. The other thing I want to make sure I mention, and don't forget before I get out of these crooked ass cops, fam. All of these things that they mentioned, and once again, some of the things they mentioned in the print article that they didn't mention here, there was another witness, air quotes there. They did the same thing to her. It was a lady. The print article, if they're not lying, said the cops kept her in an interrogation room for 14 hours under the same circumstances. Little or no food, little or no water. They're not letting these people go to the bathroom. They're not letting them talk to anybody, including attorney and loved ones. They locking them in rooms, man, and forcing these people to say shit that ain't true. They're not telling you this side of police, and you know why? Because it don't fit that blue line bullshit. But just like these people said in the print article, I hope they said it in this video too, but I don't remember it. They said this is a huge problem in Chicago. A lot of false convictions are born in false confessions that are forced by police officers, by detectives. They lock these poor people in the room, man. These people ain't got no money to do nothing. The man was 18 years old, and you got to go read the print article on this, because I'm not going to remember everything they said, but they did touch on how he was like, damn, fam, I was 18. I had just graduated, bro. I'm already in urban America. I mean, clearly I am. That don't mean I'm part of it. Everybody in urban America is not part of it. Y'all don't even want me to go down that damn rabbit hole. The fuck you gonna do if you born in the war zone and this kid? You don't want me to go down that rabbit hole, because I'm just gonna tell the truth. Going back to Selma, I love that everybody came out there. That don't erase the fact that they were out there because one particular group of people wanted to terrorize another particular group of people. We got to talk about the whole damn story. Y'all know me. Let's get back to this. I'm already in urban America. I'm just trying to survive, big dog. I just graduated. I'm 18. It kills me how adults look at kids. I don't give a fuck if he can buy liquor at 18. I don't give a damn if she can lawfully say, yeah, I wanted to have sex at 18. You still just a fucking kid. Which one of you? It was very few of us in our circle of friends who were like really mature. I had some really mature people in my friend group, men and women, male and female. But damn it, most of us was 18-year-olds, man. We didn't know shit about life. And we damn don't know nothing about surviving in no man. Now, the only thing I think that young man probably had going for him was he came from one jungle and they put him in a more confined, dangerous jungle. But the dude was 18, man. I often reference a story, man, where they gave this 15-year-old kid like 8 years in prison or something, man, because I think he either brought a gun to school or threatened to bring a gun to school. Good white kid. I think like Kentucky or Missouri somewhere, you know, one of them rural places. The little kid either brought a gun to school or I think it was a threat, but you know, he made, just in case I'm misremembering, he brought a gun to school. They gave him 8 years in prison. He's like 14, 15 years old. That shit didn't make no sense to me, man. We're not taking that lightly. We know the terror that kids and guns in school have wrought upon our country. So I'm not taking that lightly, but damn, family, he didn't take it that far, man. We were able to rescue him before he got there. We were able to catch him. And that's all I could ever think about that story. I said in the comment section, we're going to throw this kid in prison, in jungle. What the fuck you think? If he just was flex, because some kids get caught with these stuff and they flex with them. I knew, I had a little couple friends get caught with a knife at school. They never was going to do nothing. They were flexing, but we still got to take it seriously. But I'm saying, what we going to do now? We going to throw him into a jungle? Ain't going to be no flexing now. He got to survive or he going to be somebody bitch. That's just the bottom line. And that's not survival. We're not going to do nothing rehabilitative for this 14, 15-year-old kid. We're just going to throw him in the jungle. And trust me, an 18-year-old kid ain't that much separation, man. We're just going to throw him in the jungle. And on top of that, in this story right here, y'all knew these folks ain't do a damn. Y'all knew this man ain't do a damn thing. According to the information we got. And what y'all peers ultimately decided. Y'all robbed this man of 10 years of his life, man. And even though he got all of that money, man, and whatever portion he's going to get, because we know it got to be divided, but even though he got that large lump sum, I didn't hear anything about one of you criminals being charged with a crime. So once again, I'm going to refer back to this gentleman and that 14 and 15-year-old. Y'all do shit like this. Y'all kidnap people for 10 years, man, 8 years, man. Y'all kidnap people, bro. Y'all murder people and go home with rewarded paid vacations, man. And this is also what y'all do to our children when y'all can kidnap them, snatch them behind closed doors and lock them up when nobody can get to them. You force them to say shit. And I'm going to say this and get out of here, guys. But besides the fact that they're just terrorists, domestic terrorists as gangbangers, a lot of times they want the accolades. I covered a video where this cop got arrested finally for it. They just want the accolades that come with making arrests. And a lot of times they want the accolades that come with solving these cases, especially depending on the priority of the case. So they don't give a damn who they pinning on. So what is my motto and what is my rant at the end of all my videos if you're a regular watcher? I'm in Coral Gables, Florida, man. It's so motherfucking beautiful out here. And I'm telling you, pretty ass women keep walking by. Y'all know I'm single. You think I ain't finna enjoy life? Definitely praying for everybody in the way of that storm. But God gave us these moments. You think I ain't finna enjoy as much of it as I can consume and praise him for it? I'll tell you something else. About 45 minutes ago, I was looking for lunch, and I don't know shit about being out here, fam. I just pulled over real quick in the parking space. I looked up, it say Police Boulevard or some shit. If you from this area, you know. I literally looked up, I see captains, I see sergeants, I see everybody, man. My skin started trembling, for real. I rolled down my window and asked them what the best pizza place is. I said my skin was trembling. I rolled down the window and asked them what the best pizza place is. I'm not scared of these cowards, man. I'm also not going to act like they can't turn a simple question into a murder scene. Know who they are. Know your rights. Teach your children to know their rights. Live free. Enjoy life. Always be aware, especially around domestic terrorists, and they everywhere. I'm Trailhand Bill.
Chicago police ordered to pay $50 million to a man who says he was framed in a murder case.
Yeah, he'd already been declared innocent years ago. Nate Rogers spoke to him tonight. Nate.
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. And down, Marcel Brown was sentenced to 35 years in prison for a murder he did not commit. He actually served 10 of those years before he was exonerated. His attorneys tell us that he was inside an interrogation room for more than 30 hours. He was banned from receiving legal counsel. He was given little food, and they say his phone call requests to family were denied.
And these are American heroes. I'm telling you, big dog. Hey, listen. They say thanks to a new law that all murder investigations, the print article says all serious crime investigations, interrogations must be recorded. You know what I was thinking? Why y'all just not doing that, man? Why wouldn't you want that documented? Pretty sure most of us know the answer. Thank you if you made it this far. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it. If you care to go a little further than that, maybe even subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out a few of the other videos on the channel. Either way, y'all be safe.